Hey guys, before we begin this video, I just want to say I might not have thought this through very well. I thought I'd be able to find footage of a performance of the Epic of Mwindo, but apparently that doesn't exist. Or if it does, it exists somewhere I can't find it. So the visuals used for this video are going to be a little slapdash. Hello everybody and welcome to another legendary build. We hit 1700 subscribers recently, so we'll be wrapping up Black History Month as Mwindo from the Epic of Mwindo from the NYANGA people of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. As always, keep in mind that these videos are about capturing the spirit of the character rather than capturing their abilities perfectly. With that said, I want to address something. Genocide is not a competition. It is an atrocity, and when more than one is happening, we address all of them. If someone brings up an ongoing genocide and you respond with, "But what about this other genocide?" that just means there's two genocides to worry about. Now with all that said, there is an active genocide going on in the Congo that is mostly being ignored, and I think we all know why. For centuries, we as a global community have been content to ignore bad things happening to black people so long as they don't directly affect us. The problem is that whatever we allow to happen to them eventually comes back to the rest of us. And when it does, there will be no one to stand up for us because we didn't stand up for them. Don't believe me? Look at ICE killing innocent white people in cold blood, claiming they feared for their life when they were never in danger. That is what cops have been doing to black people in America since they were freed from slavery. They have warned us that we were next for decades, and now they're saying, "We told you so." We are all human beings. Black, brown, indigenous, Asian, Muslim, Jewish, Caucasian, straight, gay, cis, trans, and everything in between and beyond. What we allow to happen to one of us, we invite to happen to all of us. What we do for each other is in turn done for all of us. Either we stand together or we'll fall alone, one by one. Now, with all that said, let's start with the ability scores. Using the standard pointer array with a 15 to strength, his main weapon is essentially a fly swatter. You've got to hit someone pretty hard to kill them with a fly swatter, and he killed a dragon. After that's the 14 in wisdom. The gods are all animals or natural elements, and Mwindo's on good terms with several of them. Up next is the 13 dexterity. Like most ancient heroes, he doesn't wear armor. Well, maybe he either has armor forged for him or has his body forged into armor. The second one sounds cooler, so we'll go with that. We'll put the 12 into Constitution and then the 10 to Charisma. He likes to sing and dance, sure, but none of his feats are really performance or persuasion based. Lastly, we'll dump Intelligence, we just don't need it. For species, Mwindo is an odd one. He was born after an unnaturally long pregnancy and popped out of either his mom's navel or middle finger, sources vary. Right from the start, he can walk, talk, sing, dance, and do magic, but for all intents and purposes, he's human. No divine or demonic parentage here, he's just magic for no reason. Ancient myths and folklore were less about the how and more about the and then what. Anyway, we'll get resourceful, pick performance, and take the Magic Initiate Wizard feat. We'll take Blade Ward to fill the slot and Prestidigitation for effects, as well as Unseen Servant. He was doing his mom's chores from the womb, and this seems like the easiest way to do that. Also, I don't think I've taken this since I made Kazuma. Why did I ever give him that? Also, I should make Megumin someday, finish off the cast. Make a custom background bringer increases into strength and dexterity. We'll also take Arcana and Religion for skills, the tough feat, and painter supplies. You know, for giggles. Moving on to class, we're going to start off as a ranger. One of his earliest feats was navigating a jungle and making animal friends. Those animal friends were gods, and it wasn't even that hard, but it still counts. We'll get strength and dexterity saving throws and pick nature, animal handling, and athletics for skills. We'll also be proficient with light and medium armor, shields, and all weapons. At level 1, we'll get favorite enemy and weapon mastery. Like I said, his Conga scepter is basically a fly swatter made from an ox's tail. My first thought was whip, but most depictions of it are pretty short, so we'll just go with the club. There was also one source that said he had an adze axe, but that source was the wiki, and I couldn't find anything to corroborate it. Even OSP Red didn't mention it. We'll also get 2 spells seeing animal friendship and speak with animals. We're now gonna multi-class to cleric, getting divine order. We'll take protector in case you want to take actual armor. We'll get 3 cantrips taking guidance and resistance to fill the slots, and true strike for a bigger smack. We'll also get 4 spells taking shield of faith for AC, cure wounds to heal, command to give orders, and protection from evil and good. At level 2, we get channel divinity and draw a blank, and at level 3, we'll get our divine domain. We'll go with Tempest, and Kuba is always a bro. We'll get Wrath of the Storm and Destructive Wrath, as well as Fog Cloud, Thunder Wave, Gust of Wind, and Shatter from our domain. We'll also take 8 from HP and swap our blank for Spiritual Weapon. Useful for smacking a bitch while you're getting choked out. At level 4, we'll take the Elemental Adept Lightning feat, Bumping Wisdom. We'll also take Spare the Dying, as well as Lesser Restoration. At level 5, will get Seer Undead as well as Sleet Storm and Call Lightning from our domain. Nkuba's always down to smite someone from Mwindo. We'll also take Revivify to raise the dead and create food and water. Technically he magically transported food from Tabondo, but back to Ranger at level 2 will get Depth Explorer, Expertise and Performance as well as our fighting style. We'll keep things simple and take Dueling and then take Long Strider for speed. At level 3 we'll get our Ranger Conclave, taking the Hunter for Hunter's Lore and Hunter's Prey. Mwindo gets into all of 2 fights that I could find, one against an army and the other against a dragon, so both Colossus Slayer and Horde Breaker are applicable. But let's face it, Colossus Slayer is just better. We'll also take Jump to jump good. At level 4 we'll take the Crusher Feed, Rounding Strength. We'll also draw a blank. At level 5 we'll get extra attack and take Enhance ability for superhuman feats. We'll also swap our blank for Bark Skin. This is how we make our body into armor. At level 6 we'll get Roving, and at level 7 we'll get Defensive Tactics, taking multi-attack defense. We'll also take Magic Weapon for an even bigger smack. Back to Cleric, at level 6 we'll get Thunderbolt Strike and take Protection from Energy for resistances. At level 7 we'll get Blessed Strike's Divine Strike as well as Control Water and Ice Storm from our domain, ignore both. We'll also take Death Ward because it's good. At level 8 we'll raise our Wisdom and take Low-Key Creature to find our deadbeat dad. At level 9 we'll get Destructive Wave and Insect Plague from our domain, ignore both. We'll also take Contagion and Greater Restoration. Mwindo giveth Elephantiasis and Mwindo taketh away. At level 10 we'll get Divine Intervention and take Thaumaturgy for effects and Raise Dead. Mwindo does a lot of resurrecting. At level 11 we'll take Hero's Feast. I don't know if I'm ever going to have another excuse to take this spell. Back to Ranger, at level 8 we'll take the Boon of Siberius, Rounding Wisdom. We'll use this to take Chain Lightning, which is what I should have done with Storm. Thanks to Richard Krause 1305 for pointing this out to me. And no, I don't care that this is an Eberron only boon. That rule is assuming you're playing in the canon multiverse. Lastly, at level 9 we'll Expertise Animal Handling and Athletics. We'll also take Plant Growth to grow some bananas and Elemental Weapon because why not? Now that we're level 20 we finally have our modifiers. Our AC with Bark Skin is 17, our Move Speed is 40, and our average HP is 173 with 9d10 and 11d8 hit dice. And with that, we are done. Now we can dispel 2. To start, we've got a big meaty smack with Tree Strike, Divine Strike, Colossus Slayer, and a max level elemental weapon. And if we'd rather combo, we have Spiritual Weapon for our bonus action. We've also got AoE damage and a maxed out 8th level Chain Lightning. And just for fun, we've got some healing, resurrection, and a little free utility. For instance, both of our combat modifiers are uncapped. Not by much, but bounded accuracy is a bitch. Our dumped intelligence also means Mind Flayers continue to be the greatest threat to this channel. Hell, someone should run a Mind Flayer campaign with my build, see how long it takes to get a TPK. Also, our only ranged options are a couple of nukes and Spiritual Weapon. I love that spell, but it's not what it used to be, and it was never a good ranged option. Weaknesses aside, we're such a boss, our daddy's named after us. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Patrons get 2-day early access to my videos, access to my Discord, and access to exclusive content. All tiers are equal, pay what you want. And with this video, I'm now on my vacation. As I said in my announcement video, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I will for sure be back for Pride Month. In the meantime, I'll be streaming on my gaming channel, Luna Rainfell Gaming. I have a poll up with a few options, and right now, it's looking like I might get to play Kingdom Hearts. Thank you for your patience and support, and I'll see you all in the next video.